Hey guys, it's your boy Joe from Joe Talk, where we talk about the 7 steps to become a millionaire before you're 30. And today we got a good one for you guys. Today we're talking about step 5, which is BMA, books, mentors, and actions. With that being said, guys, we're diving into a topic that's not just about money today, guys. We're talking about mindset. That's what we're focusing on. And one of the questions that comes up is, why does everyone seem to have more money than you? And this makes you feel like you're behind in life, like you're not doing something right. But let me just tell you guys right now, you're not behind. Yeah, I know it feels like everyone else is living their best life. Designer clothes, vacation, fancy car. But let's unpack why that's not the full story. So in this video, guys, I'm going to shift your perspective and break down this illusion and show you guys that your journey is right on track. So let's dive right in. So we're going to start with the illusion of having more. And first off, guys, we have to address the elephant in the room, social media. We all know what it is. And I just want to let you guys know, social media is designed to show you guys highlight reels and not the behind the scenes. So everybody's displaying the best side of their life, right? That luxury trip could be paid for with a credit card maxed out at 25% interest. That new car could be financed, meaning they don't even own it. Here's the truth, guys. Looking rich and being rich are two entirely different things. And we have to start understanding this to build wealth in our 20s. Now, here's the real reason why people appear to be ahead. It's simply because they're borrowing from their future. You see, guys, we have a culture of debt. And take cars, for example. 85% of car buyers, guys, finance their vehicle. And many of them owe more than the car is actually worth. Take credit cards, for example. The average American has over $5,000 in credit card debt, often to fund a lifestyle they can't afford. Look at buy now, pay later services. And these things, what it makes people feel richer than they actually are because they're on a payment plan. They don't have to pay now, they're paying tomorrow. So let's run the numbers, because numbers don't lie. Imagine someone making $4,000 a month. They spend $2,200 on rent for that luxury high-rise apartment, $730 for that financed car, $500 on insurance because they're in their 20s, so insurance is going to be on the higher side. Here in New York, it's extremely a lot higher than that. $300 on eating out and entertainment. What does that leave them with the end of the month? Only $270 left. Think about that. Sure, they look like they have it all. They look like they figured out life. But in reality, what you guys just saw is they're really living paycheck to paycheck and they're not saving anything. Now, compare you in this situation. You're living in a modest apartment with a roommate. You're staying with a family member. Your rent is only $800. You've managed to save up $5,000 and buy a cash outright, no car payment. You spend $300 on essential and entertainment every single month. What does that leave you with? That leaves you with $2,900 to save and invest. You see the difference, guys? Do you guys really see the difference now? It's not about how much you make. It's actually about what you keep. My mom used to always say that growing up. So these are the things we have to keep in mind when we start feeling like we're behind in our 20s. You're not behind. You're right on track. And we get lost in the sauce when we start comparing ourselves to something that's not even real. We're comparing ourselves to illusion. We're not going off real facts right here. So we're lost. And this is why my grandma used to always say, comparison kills clarity, Joe. Always remember that. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just focus on yourself. She's Jamaican and she used to always say, take care of your own yard before you worry about another man's yard, right? Don't worry about what another man is doing. Worry about your yard and what's going on in your yard. And there's gold in this wisdom, you see? There's so much gold in this wisdom because when you're not comparing yourself to other people, you have clarity where you can focus on your own path, right? Here are some practical steps I want you guys to follow. I want you guys to write down your financial goals, right? Whether that's to save $10,000, pay off a loan, or just build your first income stream. Just get it on paper. Start writing it down. And then the next thing you want to do is break that in smaller steps. For example, let's say your goal is to save $10,000 in 2 years. That's when you do the math, you realize that's only $416 a month. So if you're currently saving $200, you have to find where you have to cut and see how you can get to that other $216, bringing you to that $416 a month. So whether that's through picking up an extra shift, whether that's through becoming a freelancer or whatever it is, that's your goal and you stick to it and achieve it through small incremental steps, right? The next thing I want you guys to do is to step back and focus on your own race. Just like this, you're going to be able to focus on your own track, right? It's like you're running in the Olympics. If you start out with a 200-meter race, like Usain Bolt, you're running. If you set one foot in another man's track, you're disqualified. So you have to focus on staying in your own lane. Stay in your own lane, continue on that path. It offers clarity. You're just looking at one lane. You're not looking at Jim, Jordan, Bell, Wood, whoever's lane that's on the other side. We're staying in our lane and we remain in focus and we have clear concentration. And just like that, guys, we're going to realize building wealth is a marathon. It's not a sprint, right? And more importantly, you want to make sure that it's your own race. You're not racing your friends, your coworkers, and definitely not that influencer on Instagram posting that rented Lamborghini. Speaking of Lamborghini, one of the biggest reasons why we fall behind is because we tie our self-worth to what we see externally, right? But what we have to do, we have to retrain our mind and focus on the internal wins. Like, did you save that extra $100 this month? Because that's progress. Did you learn a new skill and increase your income potential? That's a big win. So when we start focus on the internal, we start realizing success is about direction and not speed. You're just going in you're going in the right path. You're going in your own lane, and it's not about speed. It's about going in your right direction. So remember, guys, you're not behind. You're just planting seeds. And take this for example. Building wealth is literally like planting a tree, right? Year 1, nothing happens. Year 2, nothing happens. Year 5, you finally start seeing a little bit of growth. Year 10, the tree bears beautiful, tasteful fruits. And right now, you're in your seed planting phase, guys. So everyone flexing on social media might look like they're winning today, but your investments, your skills, and your discipline will pay off tomorrow. Let's say you're 23 and you invest $500 a month in the S&P 500 index fund. At an average 8% return, by the age of 30, you're going to have $52K saved up. That is life-changing. Someone spending that same $500 a month on lifestyle inflation will have zero. So now that we've established that you guys are not behind, let's talk about how we can get ahead and become a millionaire in our 20s. The first thing we want to do to get ahead is to build our financial foundation. That means you're reading as many books as you possibly can. And most of these books will teach you skills that you didn't learn in school. Here are some life-changing books. You have The Millionaire Next Door. You have Psychology of Money. You have Financial Peace University by the financial guru, Dave Ramsey. That guy's amazing. Listen to Dave Ramsey. You won't go wrong. What he's saying is not attractive. What he's saying is not flamboyant, but what he's saying is 100% true. The next thing you want to do is to avoid debt. Live below your means and buy used. You want to go ahead and also save aggressively. Follow the 60% rule. Make sure you save 60% of your income by living within your means. Next thing you want to do is have an emergency fund. Save 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. I'm sure you guys have heard these things before, but guys, they work. It's important. The next one I want you guys to do is to follow the 60-30-10 budgeting. You're going to make sure you save 60% of your income. You're going to make sure you live on 30% of your income, and you're going to use the other 10% to have fun with it. That's what I want you guys to focus on when you think about building your financial foundation. The next thing I want you guys to do is to focus on net worth, not income. Listen again, guys. Net worth, not income. Why is that? And that's because when you focus on net worth, you tend to think more long term. So every decision you make is for tomorrow and not for today. Why is this important? Because this stops you from giving into the everyday pleasures of feeling good. It's like working out, right? Let's say you're going to the gym 5 days a week. If you're going to the gym 5 days a week, you're less likely to eat unhealthy than not going to the gym at all. These two things tie together. So you're always thinking about tomorrow and not just today. And here's a great example. Let's say you earn $80,000 a year, but you spend $79,000 in lifestyle costs. What's your net worth? $1,000. That's all you have left, $1,000. And maybe not, that's not even true because you most likely have credit card debt, right? But on the other hand, let's say you make $50,000 a year. You save $10,000. You invest it wisely. Your net worth starts growing each year. And then you start putting that money into income producing assets such as a business, stocks, or even real estate. The next thing I want you guys to do is to go ahead and take that leap of faith on that idea you've been thinking about for a very long time. Start that business. Give it a leap of faith. You're in your 20s. What's there to lose? Let's say you go to college 4 years. You finally graduate with your degree. You can start a job at 21, 22, right? That same job is still going to be there when you're 28, 29. Between that 21, 22 to 28, 29, use that time for yourself. Take a little bit of risk. You're young enough to take this risk right now and bounce back later. What's the worst that can happen? You can always go back to that regular 9 to 5, right? Now, if you take the risk, what's the best that can happen? You have absolutely no cap when you have your own business. You can go as high as you want. The cap is you. The cap is how high you want to go. So make sure you take that leap of faith and start that business or execute on that idea you've always wanted to execute on. And here's the thing, starting a business is a lot easier than a lot of you guys think. You only need 4 things. You need courage. You need extreme planning. That's 2. 3, you need consistency and discipline. And 4, you need perseverance. That's all you need to start a business. Those 4 things, nothing else. And I'm not sure if you guys realize, but you realize I didn't say you need X amount of dollars to start a business. And that goes to show that starting a business, money is not the most important thing. The most important thing, guys, is the intangibles of grit and resourcefulness. Because when you have these things, you're always going to find an answer. You just want to have grit and resourcefulness. I don't have enough money. How can I make this thing still work? That's being resourceful. What's grit? When you find that you're not stopping no matter what, that perseverance is going to push you through. If you have to dig deep and get it done, you will get it done. And the next thing we have to do to get ahead is think about the idea of delayed gratification, right? A story in the book, Don't Eat Your Marshmallows Yet, is a great example of delayed gratification. They tell a story in the book about a guy named Arthur. This guy was a chauffeur, and he used to chauffeur for this wealthy businessman, right? So he'd drive him everywhere. So he's in direct contact with that businessman. So he's hearing all the conversations on the phone. He's hearing him closing deals. He's hearing him talking about finances and life philosophies. And Arthur started to pick up on all these little things. What did Arthur do? He started to take his boss as somewhat of an unofficial mentor, right? So he started to do what his boss was saying. He wasn't saying them directly to him, but he started understanding this is how the wealthy speaks, and he started following these things. So what did he do? Whenever he get his paycheck, he would save that paycheck, invest it wisely into the mutual funds and stocks that his boss was always talking about. He started generating income from that. Then he started telling his boss, hey, I started doing that. And his boss looked at him and he was so impressed, like, wow, you actually took these steps. This is very impressive. And sorry, before he started a business, he went to his boss and he said, I'm thinking about starting a business and doing X. But he was so scared because he didn't want to feel like he's going to betray his boss. As a lot of you guys know, people who have your best interests at heart, they don't want to hold you back. They want to see you go up high as you possibly can, right? So his boss said, no, Arthur, I want you to take this chance. I want you to take that leap of faith. I want you to enjoy the fruits of your labor for delaying gratification for such a long time. And with that, guys, I want to say you guys are not behind. You're not. You're on your own track. You're running your own race. Take your time. Breathe in. Enjoy this process. Enjoy the process of running your own race. Don't look in another man or another woman's lane. Because if you step foot in their lane, you lose clarity. So we want to stay on track, guys. All right, guys. I hope you guys found some value in this video. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Joe, and I'm out. Bye-bye.